Good day, everyone, and it's Timothy once again, and it's my pleasure to have you here. So let me quickly, okay. So earlier in the introductory class, we have this assignment just to help us brush up what we did in the introductory class, and quite a number of you guys turned up. I saw the assignments that we dropped, but for this video, I will not be able to review all of them. But I'm sure that you're able to take lessons from these ones that we'll review together. All right, so I'm just going to correct only the ones that need corrections from here, and then we'll move on to the next ones. I know that before we review 4 or 5 of these, we must have touched every part of the questions um, available. All right, so um, well, the introductory video, you've watched it. We still have other videos in this series, right? And then you can just pay a token to get access to the complete video tutorial on Microsoft Excel. And I do hope that you would learn something. Yes, that's my belief, because I actually took my time to record all of these tutorials myself. All right, so let's get down to business. This is one of the assignments that I got from someone. Please, I want to stress something. Okay, while we'll be making comments on some of these assignments, please, no one should take it to heart. It's just we correcting it, and that's the best way to learn. All right, so none of my comments or judgments are meant to make anyone feel bad. Please, so pardon me if I made use of some of the if I make use of some wrong words. Okay, so for this one, this person actually did really well, and I don't want to really believe this person is a beginner. Well, but let's see. Okay, so I actually like the formatting for the price, and I think it is accounting, and also for that of the quantity, it is really good. Okay, so I must applaud that. And this total here, it's wow. I love the double underline also. All right, so I think the only part that I'm really concerned about is the A, that the company's name. It was supposed to be merged across cell A1 to D1. That's question number one actually. You only increase the size, the font size. You didn't match the company's name across cell A1 to D1. So what you should have done is to highlight this, use merge and center option right here. So when you do that, it's now more of one cell and not multiple cells. So I think all the other ones you got right. So big congratulations. I love that. Well done. So let's quickly review another one and see what we got. All right, so this person is from this one is from Fitz Henry. It's also a really good one. You tried, you did well, and nice one here. All right, so let's quickly go through it. All right, I think you made the same mistake as the previous person with the header here. You should have highlighted all of these right together, and then use the merge and center option here, so that way your content is more across the cells. And okay, font of 32, that is correct. Apply the following settings to row 3, content in row 3, bold, white, font color, blue background. I think this is all correct also. The blue background, the white color, and row height of 25. I'm not going to check the row height, but if you want to check the row height, just bring your mouse to this corner here. Row height 25, that's correct actually. All right, so provide serial number from 10, right? That's also correct. It started from 10. Okay, adjust the column width to perfectly fit all the column contents. Yes, you also did well, but I just wish you just give it more space a little bit. Let your content breathe a little, and that's all. Okay, so but where I have little challenge is your price. I would prefer an accounting standard for the price. So if you're there, please do well to use an accounting standard so that it will have some meaning, okay, at least legible and some meaning to whoever is saying it. You might not want to have the naira symbol in front of all of this. If it's that's what you don't want, no problem, you can just take it out, but make sure they are separated by commas. Like if your digits are in thousands or in millions, there is a comma separating them. So you can also take out the decimals if you don't want it. And I think your date is also perfect. Oh, you actually merge this across the cells. All right, so that's very nice to do. So you're well done. I think you also did this well. You did it well. Well done. Well done. Let's move on to the next assignment. All right, so here is this person. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so for this person, I'm coming. All right, okay, so what you should have done is, I didn't ask to highlight the whole row, but that's what you did. It's okay too. So let's first say no fill. Then I'm going to highlight all of this again, right, and say give us a blue fill. All right, so let's actually take it from number 1. Using the appropriate option, center the company's name across cell A1 to D1. All right, so what this person did is to split the content in cell A1, XYZ in A1, enterprise in B1, which is wrong. So what you should have is XYZ, enterprise, all in cell A1, delete this, then highlight cell A1 to D1, then do merge and center. It's actually supposed to be to E1. I don't know how I made a mistake with that, but since that's what you have on your question, no problem. Okay, so something like this would have been nice. All right, apply the following settings to content in row 3, bold, white, font color, blue background. Align the contents to the center. So I was expecting this. You highlight this, click, then you drag it across, something like that. All right, blue background, this is where you change your background, right? This blue, this cup here, it may not be blue for you, it may be some other color, so just let me use another shade of blue this time. To the row height, we did it the other time, row height, just take your mouse to the left corner and right click, row height. We have 25, type in 25 and say okay. Align text to the center. Sorry about that. Align text to the center. All right, okay, so something happened, sorry, let me undo that. This is what, when we change the row height, this is what was available. Now you see that all of this one product is at the center. Okay, let me expand the row height. You see products at the center. This all of these are the center of the height, but this is dropping. That's because the vertical alignment is to the bottom of this, so I have to change it to the center here. Look at the top of the screen here, and so it's gone back up. I hope you understand that. So all right, so question number 3 provides that number from 10 to 20, so you should start from 10. This is correct, actually. This is correct, so we'll just leave it and adjust the column width to fit the product perfectly. All right, so let's just adjust this a little bit. Sorry, I feel it's too big. All right, and the rest can stay the way they are. All right, maybe price can come in a little bit also. Okay, so for quantity, when we talked about the formatting, I don't know what you did here, but I feel like you typed in NGN, which is naira, by yourself. That is wrong. Quantity is not even is not denoted in currency, it's not denoted in naira, so there is no need to have done that. And even if that is what you had wanted, you shouldn't have typed it into the cells. Okay, for example, if I change all of these the ngn is no longer coming back. That's because you used the wrong data format, and Excel do not acknowledge that. So what you should do next time, and I see that you're actually writing the commas by yourself with the dots and the decimal figures, so that is also wrong. So I'm just going to erase all of these. I'm going to put in random numbers, so permit me. Okay, so these are random numbers. I'm going to highlight that, then just apply comma to quantity. Quantity is not denoted in any currency, right? So this is what your quantity should look like. This is what your quantity should look like. You can decide to take out the decimal places. So if perchance somebody deletes this and now writes something like this, it doesn't need to put a comma. The comma comes in automatically. Now look at the formula bar. I only wrote 1522, but then in here it is showing 1,522. So it helps you to know if how many decimals, what kind of. So if I have something like this, easily I can say this is thousand, this is million, this is billion, this is trillion, and this is quadrillion or whatever it is, because it is separated by a comma. I hope you understand that part of it. All right, so let's go forward. And I think the same thing also happened to your price. Okay, so let's also apply border to the price rules, because I think somewhere apply our borders to, I don't know why this is also D, but it's supposed to cover all of this content. So I won't blame you for this, but then let's say it's my error, so my apologies. Apply all borders, just highlight the cells, come to the border option here, apply all borders to that. So you did the same thing with your currency here, which is wrong. Remember, Excel is supposed to make your work easier. Let's assume you have to type 1,000 rows of price and quantity. If you do it this way, you will break down at the end of the day, because you'll be so tired and exhausted typing ngn, typing the figures, putting the commas and putting the zeros. So this is what you should do. Okay, for example, look at this again. It's saying it's not reflecting the right data. You see, it's not putting the commas, it's not putting the decimals or whatever it is. So it makes work much more difficult. All right, so but this is what you should have done. I'm just going to wipe all of this. Then come to the data format. It is highlighted, the cells are highlighted right now. Come to data format here and select accounting or currency, whichever one makes you all right. And you can go ahead and type 500. Look at that. Look at that. And you see that that makes my work easier. I just need to type the values and it add all of the other ones for me. I do hope you get this better, you understand this better right now, and you will not make further mistakes anymore. All right, let's take a look at the date right here, the dates here. And I think what you have here is hard-coded. It's not really the date format. Okay, so let's confirm that. Look at the formula bar. You have the complete date in here, which is wrong. So let's confirm again. 14.4. You can see that it is the wrong format. All right, you are making this mistake if you don't use the right data format. It makes your work very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. And what you should have done is to just highlight the cell, for example, come to data formatting here, or number format, whichever one you want to call it, and then select long date. Thursday, this is the example here. That's the long date format. I can now say 14.4. Look at that. automatically. I don't need to type all of the plenty for Friday 14th February. I don't even know what day 14th February is, but the computer knows. Let it do that for me. Look at that. Let me change that to 17/4, and you can see that it has done the magic. Let me use 26/5 next month. You can see that has done that for me. So using the right data format actually helps you better. All right, I think that's where we'll close the chapter for this. So you've done well, Monica. Well done. Okay, so here is another one, and you've done well. If this is yours, you've done well, and well done. Okay, so you actually helped me to fill in dates of purchase, which is really good. I I love that. All right, well done. Okay, so but let's quickly go through the answers. Okay, so this is what you have. The question was to merge the heading, which is XYZ Enterprise, across cell A1 to D1. So, but what you did was to copy the heading across the cells. It is wrong. Okay, nobody wants to have the same heading multiple times. Okay, so I'm just going to merge it across A1 to E1. So highlight cell A1 to E1 or D1 as the case may be. Select merge and center right here on the home tab. And now you have something like this. So apply the following settings to row 3, bold, white, font color, blue background. And I think you got that right. So you prefer the green background. It's okay. It's fine. So let's leave it like that. But I feel okay, this is question 3 says provide serial number starting from 10 using autofill. I was expecting that you start from 10, so 10, 11, then you highlight both of them and autofill it. So click and drag it below, right? That is how you do that. You can also use a function to do that and say, okay, let's use the sequence. Oh, sorry, I realized that some versions of Excel do not have the sequence function. Let's say row A4, sorry, row A10, and it's going to start from 10 that way. Then we can autofill that. Look at it in the formula bar. The row function just gives you the row number, returns the row number for you. So what's the row number? The number is 10, and then we'll just use it to autofill the same thing. It's just another way to get your serial, to do serial number and then stuff like that. So I'm going to adjust this. So I see that your content is also centered. I didn't really ask you to do that, so but it's fine if you, but it's not really good to the eye when you highlight this kind of content and pull them to the center. So let's go back to the left. You can add a little, if you want a little margin. Date of purchase, you are using the long dates. It's good, but I think it's okay, but I think it's not too good. You should have probably used short dates for this if it's within your content, right? If it's within your content, you should probably use short dates. Oh, it's not going to actually take effects right now because you had typed the date. So let's say 16/4. I've applied the settings anyway, so it's going to just, so I'm going to autofill that also. Then I will adjust this. I want it also to the left. Quantity sold. Quantity sold and price should always be separated by commas if you're dealing with numbers. Please remember to do that. So highlight that, add your comma. You can take out the decimals if you don't want. And for price, highlight all of it. Highlight all of it. Click and drag, or pull your mouse over it. Shift and button down to highlight. click on the first cell, shift and button down to highlight. Then for the price, we are going to use the accounting or the currency format, whichever one you feel like to use. I actually prefer the accounting style. So all right, so I believe that to have settled that. Then I said somewhere in the question you're supposed to apply borders to the content, right? Apply borders to the content, highlight all of this, highlight and select, come to the border button here and select all borders. I think that is good. Now I remember that in question 3, I just noticed that you actually highlighted and applied the settings to the whole row. That's not really what I want, so I'm just going to undo that. So you will see how you can undo that in a moment briefly. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to come to the fill option, this cup option button here, and say no fill. Sorry, I'm going to highlight the row, the whole row, and say, because I want to apply this setting now to the whole row, and say no fill. Right now it has gone back to the default fill settings, so I'm going to highlight the relevant cell, which is this, and say give me a blue background. Remember when I did no fill, now the content is not showing. That's because the content is white in color and the background is also white in color. So when I applied the fill, the color, the content became active again, and apply the border to it. So I think that settles that as regards this. So well done, you've done well. Let's move on to the last, I think. Okay, so Monique really did well. Sorry, Mono, I think I see Mono as a name. That's very good. All right, please, a gentle reminder, if you're working on a project like this, especially when you know you're not the only one who's doing similar thing and is going to be submitting similar thing, try to save it with a unique name. If you don't save it with a unique name or with another name, so to say, and you only returned it with the same name that it was sent to you, you will realize that there will be too many people using the same name and no one will be able to identify which one is yours. All right, so let's you did well with the header here. Merge and center is very correct, and I love that. Your autofill, your number is starting from 10, which is correct. This is also good. For quantity, so let's just expand a little bit, and for price also expand a little bit. All right, you used currency format here, it's okay, let's leave it like that. For quantity sold, please add a comma. You can take out the decimals if you don't want it. All right, I think you did well. You also typed the date in full. That is wrong. Okay, let's see. 14.4. Yeah, that's because you type the date in full. Next time, select the cell and apply long date format. So even if I change the contents like this, 28.4, it is always coming back up. All right, so I think, apply borders to all of this. That's just highlight and then select all borders. So I think we are done with this. You did well, Mono, well done. All right, so I saw this, and so this is someone's assignment, and well, you're well done. You've tried, but then you could do better with this. All right, so because when I first saw it, I was wondering what is this, and in fact this video would have been ready a few days back, but I felt maybe we should have it in a live class when I saw this, because I know this just because this person is a little bit confused. All right, it's okay. So I see that these fonts are big. First and foremost, I checked if the page was zoomed to be sure of what I'm seeing, but I realized it was not zoomed. Look at it. it is still at 100%. All right, at the bottom of the screen here, it's at 100%. All right, so what I did next was to highlight all of the content in the spreadsheet and apply a font of 11 or 12. Let's put 12, and then look at what we have. All right, so it's because the person used different fonts, so that has actually corrected that for us. Okay, so cell A1, we're just going to center this across A1 to D1, apply the font of 26. All right, which is fine. Then the following settings to column to cell row 3, content in row 3. So this person should have selected row 3, but he selected row 4. All right, so what are the settings? They said the first one is bold, make it bold, white font color, blue background, come here, this one with a cup, blue background, let's choose any blue right here, align center, which is already at the center. Okay, row height to 25, row height to 25. All right, and that is that. Provide serial number from 10. Okay, so we're not supposed to add any effects to this place, so I'm just going to undo this by selecting the cell, come to the fill color and select no fill. Please, it is not white fill, it is no fill. So to the font color here is already white, so we have to change the font color to black. Okay, and what I just did now is to remove the bold option here. Okay, so serial question number 3 says provide serial number starting from 10 using autofill. So previously we used the row function. All right, so if you have a more advanced maybe Excel 365 or Office 365, you can use the sequence or the sequence function to also generate serial number. Row, we need 10 rows, right? Or let's say we need 11 rows. Columns is 1, start from 10, and the step is 1. Let's close this, and we have our serial number in there. All right, question number 4 says adjust the column width to perfectly fit our content. Okay, so all of this should not be in the center, so I'm going to highlight this and put it to the left. If you want space to the left, put it, give it some margin, align this to the center if you. Okay, so for quantity, please separate with a comma. Why do we have this hash here? Is because the content is bigger than the width provided. So it's either you expand the width or reduce the font size. All right, so for the price, let's use our accounting format, highlight and use accounting. All right, so that's fine. We are getting somewhere. I think this person did the sum of all of these, right? But this is not how to do it. That's why you're using Excel. It's to make your things easy. Maybe if you punch calculate, okay, let's see if the sum is actually correct, because that's what I think this person did here. So I'm going to say equal to, it can't even be correct. How can you sum quantity and have 124,000 and some price to have only 10,000? Oh, there's a quantity here that is 84,000. Wow. All right, okay. So let's see if it is correct. So I'm just going to use a function. I know it's not part of the scope, but it's fine. You should learn something also from here. We'll use a function this time around, sum, open brackets, column. This is cell address C4 because it is on the intersection of column C. Sorry, it's on the intersection of column C. Intersection of column C right here, row 4. So we call it C4. So I'm just going to run the function again, equals to sum, open bracket C4, and then we're going to pick the last cell also. Put your double column and click the last, that's C14, close your bracket. So 124, 100. Okay, that's what you try to do here. You try to do here, but I see that I think you use that a calculator. So I'm just going to do the same thing for price. Auto fill that. Now let's see the difference. This is the one we did, and this is the one you did, right? Congratulations, thank you for going through the extra efforts you did. Well, I appreciate that, but this is a better way to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to change the value for blue band and see if our answer reflects it. You can see that this has reflected it, but this did not. Now imagine that you have a boss, and after giving you all of this to type, let's say you have about 100 products like this, and he just said, Timothy, there are about 12 products that the quantity sold changed and the prices also changed. Will you go back to start looking for those 12 products and manually do all the calculations again? Well, with Excel it is no, because if you use the right function and formula, if I change this again, look at that, it has also changed. So this is what you get when you use the right thing, the right tool for the right job with Microsoft Excel. Let me put 0 here. It has also adjusted this. Let's do the same thing with our quantity. Let's say 450, 4,500. And you can see that it has changed this. I do hope you learned a little from this exercise. So well done, well done, well done. Well done, you've done well. For the date, you also hard coded the date, which is wrong. Please use the long date format. Look at the question. Type today's date in cell B17 in this format. And I remember that we talked about the dates format in the previous tutorial. So it should have been 25, let's say 25/4, and it should give you this. Look at the formula bar, you can see that it is only 25/4/2023 that you have there. All right, so I think the last thing to do is to apply borders to this, all borders. So if you have been able to come this far, I hope you have learned something and that this helps you kickstart your journey with the use of Microsoft Excel. For everyone who has participated, well done and thank you. I do hope to see you some other time. And if you're still there, you want to learn, you can still join our exclusive class, and it's only for a token. It's only for a token. All right, so you can join our exclusive class. Okay, so for some people, this is the assignments they got. It has this. Our exclusive class contains tutorials on Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Excel for data analysis. And you can get access for just 5,500 Naira. You can pay via our website, or you can pay through bank transfer to GTBank 0159047872. All right, so these are live links, right? These are live links in Excel. You can use them to connect. This link will take you directly to our website where you can make payments, and this link, click here to begin assignments. This is to link you straight to my WhatsApp. Let's click here to begin assignments. I would have clicked any of these links so you can see what it is, but I'm not connected to the internet at the moment. But if you feel like to test it, go ahead and click it on your own assignments. So if you click this, it takes you to where the assignment is and you can get it done. All right, so this is where we'll draw the curtain, and I will see you some other time. Thank you all. Thank you all. Well done.